Welcome to Cat and Raven Designs. I'm a dragon.
And I'm a DM. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our next episode. First, I don't know what order these are going up in. Welcome to a D&D inspired soap as part of our slightly delayed D&D collection.
Only slightly.
Yeah, just a little bit. So this will be available on Friday, August 6th. It is the first Friday of August. Normally we try to do the last Friday of the month, but delays in supplies meant this was late in getting put together.
And we don't want to send y'all folks uncured soap.
True. What we're going to be doing with this one, it's going to make the structure of the video maybe a little bit weird. It is going to be a high top. You probably saw that in the thumbnail. We are doing a offset layer. Offset? Slanted?
Something like that.
I don't know. We're going to be doing multiple jewel tone layers because this is Dragon's Hearth, which is inspired by dragons and my D&D campaign.
In which I play a dragon.
I am going to be pouring one color at a time. So that's why this has already got the color in there. So I'm just going to be doing a batch at a time for the colors. So I won't show mixing all of them because that's potentially going to be kind of boring. But let's talk about our fragrance real quick. All right, so our fragrance today is Sweet Orange and Sriracha from Candle Science. Got a nice spicy orangey scent to it. Seems very fitting for dragons. So now that I've got my oils in here, I'm going to add in my lye. This bucket that is way too tall.
You know, if it was inspired by Lilith, you know it'd smell like cookies.
True. Lilith was Cat's dragon character in my D&D game.
And Lilith liked cookies and cannibalism. Well, it's not cannibalism because nothing she ate was the same species as her.
Just so wrong.
Okay, nothing she ate was the same species as her. It
Sure.
was just was it necrophagy?
Yes.
Necrophagy. You know that one time her and the necromancer were fighting over who got to eat the dead body?
Oh, gross. I'm not sure how this fragrance is going to behave, so I'm trying to be careful here. Hopefully, it doesn't speed up trace, because I need to be able to do 4 pours. So I want this to make you think of like a dragon's hoard. So it's all jewels on the bottom with the jewel tones, and we're going to do gold and prettiness on top. So there's our first color. Let's set up our molds.
Also, poor Steve.
Oh, Steve.
Poor
I
Steve.
think we've talked about Steve before. Steve is one of my NPCs. Steve is a very tortured soul, really. By you guys, specifically.
There is a reason the campaign has become Those Assholes.
The party name was Those Assholes.
For a reason.
Oh, maybe if I was smart, I'd go like that. That's smarter. Okay, hold on. Now that I've obtained smartness, I need to redo this real quick. This goes right here. Does that look like those are even? Those are even, right?
Even-ish?
It's even adjacent. Okay, I'm going to pour into a smaller container to be able to get these layers in. So I really miss playing D&D.
Me too.
I mean, we're trying to play on Roll20, but it just wasn't the same as having everybody in person.
And we were kind of struggling with connectivity issues.
Yeah.
And
I think everybody in the game is vaccinated now.
yeah.
I mean, the kids aren't vaccinated yet. That's maybe the only real drawback. The kids are all under the age of 12, so we can't vaccinate any of them. Boy, this is the way to do this. Like, I do not feel rushed. I feel like I can take my time, make these layers really nice. Normally when we're doing multiple layers, we're sort of this race against the clock. And I don't like that. It feels like I end up sacrificing the quality of the layers for the sake of just getting it done.
I think, like, if we, in the future, if we have layered designs like this, like, even if it's just 2 loaves, like, I think this is just how we need to do it. It's just individual batches for the layers. Well, because then theoretically, like, the layers, you know, depending on what fragrances we're using and whatnot, should hopefully be set up by the time we go to mix in the lye in the next layer.
Yeah. That's the hope, anyway. We'll see how this goes. So what first brought you to D&D?
So...
Uh-oh.
This is a great story, honestly. Like, it's awesome. I enjoy it. So, moved into my apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really have any friends at that point, or at least none that I could hang out with. Was dating this guy that ended up being a douche. I had this, like, Spider-Man bodycon dress. Upstairs neighbors. This is part of the story of how we ended up being such good friends. Like, there's more to the story, but this was like
The start.
This was like part 2 to that story. This was part 2. Because, like, all their friends that they would hang out with and game with and whatnot would periodically see me and were constantly like, dude, your neighbor's hot. Oh my god, she's so hot. Is she single? Blah, blah, blah. Which, as far as they knew, I was dating somebody.
I'm sorry.
They did not know I was poly.
I'm sorry, it's kind of funny. Like, how did you get into D&D? Well, first off, I'm hot.
Right? And so one day they're like, yeah, like all of our friends have been, and this was after the initial story that kind of got us talking and whatnot. Like, you know, they were telling me, oh yeah, like our friends keep like gushing about you. One of them recognizes you from the strip club that he is a bouncer at.
I think I've seen that Dembo with their clothes off.
Friends were like, hey, do you want to come up and like do game night with us and like just really with them?
Yes.
Yes. Well, yes. Shenanigans? You want to use me to with your friends? Okay. So they invited me to their game night, which they at the time were doing, I want to say every Wednesday and Thursday. First game night that I went to, I went up in this red Spider-Man bodycon dress. And my boyfriend that I had at the time had just left, meaning I was covered in like bite marks and hickeys.
Hickey-tastic.
Yes. And like I walked up and walked in and like jaws dropped.
Like, what up, sluts? Time to roll dice.
And so like at the time they were playing Corporation, which I didn't do that one with them. I didn't play Corporation with them. But a few weeks later, we'll just go with a few weeks later, when they finished up with that campaign, they started playing D&D. It was a 5th ed game. Like, I guess 5th ed had just come out at the time, or it was like
recent anyway.
Yeah, very recent anyways. And so we did a campaign with 5th ed. So like my first 2 D&D characters ever were both sorcerers. They were twins.
Twin sorcerers.
Well, so the first campaign, the way we had my half-elf sorcerer have a noble background and, like, whatnot, because they were both nobility, but not be, like, in the Feywild, was, they got bullied. They weren't f***ing around with that. And so, they got kicked out of the Feywild because, they set their bully's house on fire.
Like you do.
Yeah. Like you do.
You know, standard.
That's also how my second character started with a bag of holding.
Oh, and by the way, the color on this pour is Ultramarine Blue and Twilight.
Yes. But yeah, that is how my second character, or at least the second sorcerer, started with a bag of holding on her person at the beginning of the campaign as a wee level 1. Because we were essentially told if we could come up with a very good story for why our character had something, the DM would allow it.
Hey, that's a fun way to play, though. I like to play that way.
And so, you know, getting kicked out of your home, the story was they got kicked out. And when they got kicked out, they were given a bag of holding, told to put all their in the bag of holding and get the out.
Like you do.
I mean, I would agree that that's a good way to justify having a bag of holding.
I agree. See, my first D&D game was while I was in college, and we played 3.5. So that 3.5 holds a special place in my heart because it was the first system I played D&D on, and like my college friends were really awesome. And I played a halfling rogue named PB for peanut butter, and my friend played. I forget what their character was, but their character's name was Jelly. So it's PB and Jelly.
Yeah, I had Sarah's and Penny. can't remember all of my characters' names at this point. Like, there's Sarah's and Penny. There's Kale, Gage, which was my 3/5 character. My Barbarian. I know that's not what they're called, but that's literally what they are. I believe they're called Scald. What happens if you mix a bard and a barbarian? So I think there was a missed opportunity with naming that class.
Not everybody's as willing to have fun at the table as other people.
I played a lot of slutty characters. In fact, like, the only character...
Insert shocked Pikachu face here.
I had 2 characters that weren't particularly slutty. I mean, my rogue kind of was, but that was more of like a drunken one-night stand where she ended up with a magical tattoo. Next layer! I'm glad we did it this way at this point. I am so glad we're doing it, like, all 4 instead of just being like, oh, we'll do 2 on, 2 off. And I'm so glad that we were just like, we'll just do a single batch per layer. How we'd be right now if we hadn't done.
Oh, immensely.
Anyways, where was I?
You're talking about your characters.
I was talking about characters. Yeah, so I think I've literally only played one not slutty character, and that's Lilith. And that's because Lilith is a child.
Yeah, please don't play slutty children. That's rude. I wouldn't have allowed you to do that. Sorry.
Lilith is an asshole, though, too.
This is true.
I'm fairly certain Lilith is the biggest asshole in the party.
Lilith keeps trying to eat other people.
She's made a tentative deal to not eat anyone unprovoked. First of all. Second of all, that's not why she's an asshole.
Can I break something to you about the game? Not like the game, but like my game, my D&D game.
Hold on. I lost the game.
Yeah, off. Off with it. So, you remember one of the last sessions we played, and there was the 2 people that came and, like, tried to steal your stuff, and there was the talking cat?
Yeah.
Did you notice anything about those that trio of characters? About what I might have put you up against?
Team Rocket?
Yes, they were hella Team Rocket! I 100% put Team Rocket in my game.
And I threatened to eat them.
I mean, who wouldn't, really?
I threatened to eat all of them.
Team Rocket's awesome.
I love Team
I love
Rocket.
Team Rocket.
But, no.
I was like, is no one gonna notice? No one's gonna say anything that I'm literally pitting you against Team Rocket?
I had my suspicions, but I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna not.
It was very funny.
No, the trying to eat people's not even the reason why Lilith is a... It's all the things she's done to Steve and the captain of the guard.
My poor NPCs in that game.
It is the racist elf she did.
Oh my god.
When she was trying to deliver a letter to investigate like all this stolen and we didn't want to draw attention to our party being involved in that because there was a dead, partially eaten teenager.
We're gonna get flagged by YouTube. Discussion of horrible crimes. They weren't real. YouTube.
I mean, if you aren't committing war crimes, are you really playing D&D?
Oh my god! If you're not familiar with D&D, you can play D&D without committing war crimes.
You know, there's that time where she did the racist elf to deliver the letter. Was like, I don't know, it was just like a dwarf. It was like a redhead, you know, to the captain of the guard. That was
a redheaded dwarf?
Yeah.
Like, dude, not cool.
That was entertaining because she goes and like, I'm gonna go question her then, and puts her in the room. I'm fairly certain that room's got wards on it now.
Probably. My poor captain of the guard.
We're like, oh well, she's got a lair, so she can teleport to the lair, but just her. She can't bring anyone with her. So what does she do? Hold me in the... You know, this. I'm going to my lair.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, and by the way, the green is a mix of Savage Garden and Green Vibrance.
That's just one of the things she's done to the captain of the guard. Then there's the whole being like, oh wait, I can disguise myself as whatever. Let's disguise myself as the captain of the guard. She didn't know any better. she's only been, like, out and, like, not being sheltered by her parents for, like, a few months. She doesn't have much view of the world. All she's seen of elves outside of, you know, a certain bard is, that she just acted the way she'd seen the other elves acting.
Wayward, my non-binary elf bard, their boss.
She pulled those shenanigans, and then when, you know, went to be questioned, was just like, you know what, this, I delivered the letter, I'm out, and just poofed. Which then had, you know, your poor captain of the guard being like,
What the
that elf, find her!
They did not find her. Spoilers.
No. She has walked past them multiple times and pulled multiple other shenanigans, but they have not found the elf. So the next shenanigan she's pulled regarding the captain of the guard is Lilith is very artistically inclined and has viewed a lot of portraits and whatnot and decided to, you know, I'm gonna, you know, make myself look like the captain of the guard and draw penises on everything.
Poor Captain Amelia. She's a lesbian.
Lilith doesn't know this.
Do you think it would have stopped her?
No.
Me neither. It didn't really come up.
It would not have stopped Lilith.
I'm not surprised.
Hey, your bard found theirs to be particularly artistic and
You
left
rolled
it
like
on
a
their
20
door.
on it. Of course my bard was like, well, it's art. What am I to do? I have to leave it up. Be rude not to. Excuse you.
Poor Steve. He's a cleric, isn't he?
Yeah, he was their healer. Now
Poor-
that you've found out that your boss and your patron and the guy you hate all used to work together.
Fairly certain, at least,
that
you know,
for me.
our boss and our patron are sleeping together.
Yeah.
We figured that out.
Yeah.
Caught them in the act.
Yeah. You guys almost caught them several times. Alright, so now that our base is poured, we can get moving on to our frosting. So this is supposed to look like silver and gold. So this is the base, which is going to be the silver. So it's satin gray pillowcase, titanium dioxide, and just a little bit of super sparkles.
Look, guys, Raven's doing the glitter soap.
Whoa! Alright, so because we're doing 4 loaves, I'm going to have to split up the frosting into 2 batches. So I'm going to do the first one and wait like 10-15 minutes and then do the second one so I can stagger them.
So the things we have done to Steve. Lilith has flashed him multiple times, drawn a penis on his door, because she couldn't hit one without the other. Well, I mean, if she hit Steve and then didn't hit Wayward, then, like, it would have looked like Wayward did it, and she didn't want her employer to get in trouble.
Of course not.
So she hit them both. Now that I think about it, like, the stuff that Lilith has done to him is not that bad. What the necromancer did was worse.
We stole all his stuff.
Oh yeah, like, the stealing all his stuff. Hey, we got a pocket boat or something like that out of that?
Pocket boat, yeah.
Yeah,
I
we got a
about the
pocket boat out of that. Stole a bunch of from him. And then went and poisoned everybody. Only he's like, I didn't poison them. I just gave them all a very potent sleeping potion. And the same night as the sleeping potion, with Steve falling down the stairs and hitting his head, Lilith was at the bars impersonating Steve, getting him 86.
You got Steve arrested.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Your
Well, we
boss,
framed him.
your boss and your patron had to go get him out. Pissed off your patron. Which got your boss in trouble. Because,
Because we framed him.
when the people that work for you get your boyfriend's friend in trouble, he gets mad. You started it and encouraged your stupid employees to do it.
I mean, what we brought to them, though, it was too good for them to pass up, okay?
Did we get to the point where Wayward told you guys why they didn't like Steve?
No.
Oh. Okay. I don't know if I should tell you.
I totally forgot about the framing of Steve. us going and slaughtering another team. In our defense, they came out and attacked us first. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. And then me and the necromancer fought over one of the corpses.
Y'all murder hobos.
And, necromancer took his fingers and then planted the fingers in Steve's jerky drawer.
It's his snack drawer, okay?
Yeah.
He just likes jerky. What do you want?
So we framed him for that.
Mm-hmm. Made him fall down a set of stairs and hit his head.
Yeah.
He had to be hospitalized.
Well, that was because of the sleeping potion that the necromancer did, and the same night the necromancer was pulling all those shenanigans and did the sleeping potion and made Steve fall down the stairs and hit his head, was the same night Lilith was impersonating Steve and pretending to be outrageously drunk and getting him 86'd from all the taverns and bars and whatnot for public nudity.
Poor Steve. All Steve ever did was, nothing to you guys. You guys have done all this on, the smack-talking word of a bard. Y'all were like, oh, a bard? Definitely a trustworthy source. We should absolutely ruin a man's life because our boss said they don't like him. You guys are great people. Look, there's a reason that the party's group name is Those Assholes. Just ruined a man's life because the bard said you should.
I don't even think it's because the bard said we should. I think, if I remember correctly, it's literally just been for and giggles.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know if you guys would have bothered if Wayward hadn't been like, hey, with that guy. That guy specifically.
Probably not.
Alright, well, let's let this frosting set up.
Wayward just gave us a target, that's all.
That's true.
Had it not been Steve, it would have been the captain of the guard. Oh, wait, it's already the captain of the guard as well.
I also put the McElroy brothers in my game. I put the Fantasy Costco in my game, and it's run by the McElroy brothers. Because I think that's funny.
If I remember correctly, one of our party members is banned from the...
Yeah, because one of your party members wouldn't stop trying to enchant the McElroys. They got pissed off. Alright, we'll be right back.
So, where were we about shenanigans?
Where weren't you with shenanigans?
Oh, because our boss was like, yeah, I don't like him. That guy in particular. And we're like...
Yes, we would in fact like to that guy.
And then our patron finds out that we've been with that guy, and he's like... He's pissed. What the did you do?
The best part is when you guys did that, and then it's like Rodri just slowly looking at Wayward like, I know this is your fault. Wayward being like, shut up.
Stop talking!
You can't get me in trouble.
And the two party members that are somewhat have morals are just sitting there like, I mean, we knew about that thing, and yeah, we actively participated in that thing, but we didn't know about the rest. Jesus Christ, guys!
That's new.
Hey, in my defense, Lilith didn't even know about him being did not know that he was had been poisoned the same night she had pulled her bar shenanigans. All she knew was that her and the necromancer were both sneaking out at the same time. And the necromancer was like, I won't say anything if you don't.
You guys were trouble.
I knew you were in trouble when you walked in.
Because you were eating another person.
They weren't even supposed to find out she was a dragon originally. It was the going into the hole and being zapped that caused it to come out so soon. And then once the secret was out, she's like, you know what? Let me just, expose myself to my boss and be like, hey, look, I'm a dragon.
So, hey, speaking of which, if you have any fun D&D stories, I would love to hear them down in the comments. Let us know. What's your favorite D&D story?
What shenanigans have you pulled?
Specifically shenanigans for Cat. Okay, so now that we've got our base layer of frosting on here, I'm going to go ahead and add a bit of a mica drizzle. So this is a combination of shimmer gold, gold dust, and holographic gold glitter. Biodegradable holographic gold glitter, of course. Because what is a dragon's hoard without gold? May have to mix up some more mica drizzle. It's taking up more than I was expecting. I really want it to be visible when we cut it.
Yeah.
Because we've done some similar stuff before, and the problem that we always have is that you can't really see it. And I really want it to be, like, I think I might even hit it with, like, Sparkle Me Gold, just to really get that gold in there.
Yeah, no, Lilith is a little ball of chaos. Like that time she turned into a dragon in Wayward's office, and Wayward just, like, lost their shit.
Wayward was not ready for that. Not high enough level for this So, we have some more dice.
Make my goblin heart go squee!
So these are the Lustrous Black with Gold dice from Chesire. Again, not sponsored, but we did order them directly from the manufacturer because we got the hookup now. Real quick, let's go ahead and do a quick transition. 1, 2, 3. Whew, there we go. Well, this was like a 4-hour-long soaping session just for this design. I'm glad this is our only high top.
Yeah, me too. Leave it to you to make the complicated ones.
Sorry, that's just how I am.
It's just so complicated.
I'm sorry. So we're going to let these sit for about 24 hours. We will come back and give them a cut. If there is an ad with YouTube, we'll let that run, and we'll see you in a minute. Bye.
Doodles.
Welcome back. So the loaves are set up and looking nice. Something that Kat and I talked about off camera that I felt was probably worth mentioning here is the reason for using such dark colored dice for this design. So the intention was to make this all look like a really cool dragon's hoard with like jewels on the bottom and silver and gold on the top. And I had briefly considered getting like a pearl colored dye to go on top, but I was worried that that would end up sort of washing out and not looking as cool, and that these reminded me of sort of dragon smoke. So I hope that comes across. All right, let's go ahead and give this a cut.
You know, for something that was being a pain in the last night, it seems like it's still slightly being a pain in the butt.
You know what, though? It's fine. It's not that bad. I'm just really curious to see how this frosting came out because of just the massive amounts of...
gold you put in there?
Yeah, all that gold mica drizzle. Don't mind my nails. I'm working on it. Oh. Okay. Yeah, you can see a little bits of the gold flecks there. All right.
Nice.
I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty okay with this. This looks cool. Awesome.
Nice.
Oh, that gold. Looking lovely. I'm honestly a little surprised because there was so much gold. I thought for sure it was all just going to leak out the sides of the bars. It would just be gold pooled up all around the mold. But it looks like it did actually... Ooh, that's a good one. Look at that.
Oh.
Like little veins of gold and rock.
Right?
Very cool. And the fragrance has mellowed out really nice. Like, I know it's got sriracha in the name, so you'd think it would smell really spicy, but it doesn't. Like, it's got a little bit of a kick to the scent, but it's mostly orange.
Yeah.
Boy, it is thick. Considering how long it took to set up last night, God, you'd think it would be a little softer, but no.
No, it was
She
just
thick.
oh, I'm going to take forever to set up, but I'm going to be a pain in the to cut. I'm going to be so thick.
Oh my God. Oh, I am
so
getting
hard.
gold all over my hands. Not surprised. Not surprised in the least. Ooh, that one's got some good gold bits.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think this came out great. And with that, we've got our finished Dragon's Hearth bars. Gosh, I'm so happy with these colors for the jewels. Like, this gold is so cool. These dice are pretty. Oh, there we go.
They are fantastic.
Love it. All right, so again, these are going to be available slightly delayed. First Friday of August, which is on the 6th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on our website, catandravendesigns.com. Link is down in the bio per usual. And this is your usual reminder to make sure that you obtain hydration for your body.
Make me.
You know, generally, when you make someone obtain hydration, it's usually considered torture. I'm not for torture. Sorry. Hydrate me, mommy.
Waterboard me, baby.
No. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we will see you for another video, and we'll see you for launch at the beginning of August. Bye, everybody.